I know we can.
Yeah, yeah,
I know we can.
yeah, yeah.
I know we can.
Jesse Lee, JLP, Big Bump.
Uniting the races with truth instead of lies, dividing the masses by who? Children of the lie, rebuilding the family by rebuilding the men. Back when boys used to be boys and men used to be men. Gotta live the right way, that's God's way. But you're still stuck in a fallen state. Anger, resentment, judgment, hate. That's what's wrong with the world today. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but principalities run amok against principalities holding us, principalities controlling us. So you get something went wrong, but face the truth about yourself and just seek first God's kingdom, cause
Live the life that we all desire, serve the God that we all admire. Stand up and be true. I know we can be perfect just like you. I know we can find a way to man up and stand up for what's right if we give our plans up. I know we can have faith in the unseen while we stand up and get back to the way we were designed to be.
you must know that so you get something went wrong, but
Check. I had to get on the track one time. Joel Friday here. Check. Look, stand up. We got fighting to do. We gotta show 'em who boss. He put a Viking in you. He put that lightning in you, igniting the truth. But you beg and blame and lie and hate and never wanna stand for the truth. So what you planning to do? You understanding to lose? You better go talk to your mama. Better stop at the drama. Better drop all the trauma. Boy, you better stand up and up. Put your hand up and hut. Cause if we don't, then we lose. And then we gotta hear the fake news. Whoa.
you must know that so you get something went wrong, but face the truth about yourself and just seek first God's kingdom, cause you must know that so you get something went wrong, but face the truth about yourself and just seek first God's kingdom, cause
Yeah. The verse 5 is very, very similar to verse
And who are you supposed to be?
I'm Ahsoka. Master Yoda sent me. This weapon is your life, but it is also your responsibility. Don't let it out of your sight.
I don't see why you won't just listen to me.
I do listen to you, Master. I just don't like being treated like a youngling.
You must have patience.
You need to be more quiet, young one.
Okay.
Not quiet with your mouth, quiet with your mind.
You've adopted many of your master's ways, including a lack of
Come and get 'em.
subtlety.
What are you trying to prove, anyway?
But I'm not too young to be your Padawan.
Ahsoka, a very wise Jedi once said nothing happens by accident. It is the will of the Force that you're at my side. Just want to keep you there in one piece.
Clouded by the dark side. These things are, Padawantano. Dangerously clouded. But not just surrounding you. Surrounding many things in these times.
I am your future, your potential. Liar! Liar! There is a wildness to you, young one.
You're reckless, little one. You never would have made it as Obi-Wan's Padawan.
Seeds of the dark side planted by your master.
But you might make it as mine.
No! He is like no other Jedi. Passionate, impulsive, but I trust him with my life. There are many contradictions in you, and in him.
I don't have the sweet.
Now let's try that again.
Little.
Ahsoka!
I feel more like myself than I ever have. Be warned. You may never see your future if you remain his student.
Dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
Ahsoka, I am so sorry.
For what?
For letting you go. For letting you get taken. It was my fault.
No, Master, it wasn't your fault. You already did everything you could. Everything you had to do. When I was out there, alone, all I had was your training and the lessons you taught me. And because of you, I did survive. And not only that, I was able to lead others to survive as well. I lost so many of my pilots.
Take heart, little one. That's the reality of command.
I am so sorry. They're all gone. I don't know who to trust.
Listen, I would never let anyone hurt you, Ahsoka. Never.
No, I'm not going to take the fall for something I didn't do.
Trust me.
Anakin, you have to trust me now. Wish me luck.
Ahsoka, wait!
I'm not impressed. Sorry to interrupt your playtime, Grumpy, but wouldn't you prefer a challenge?
It is the Council's opinion that Padawan Ahsoka Tano has committed sedition against the Republic, and thus she will be expelled from the Jedi Order.
I'm sorry, Master. But I'm not coming back.
Ahsoka. Why are you doing this?
The Council didn't trust me, So how can I trust myself?
What about me? I believed in you. I stood by you.
Ahsoka, why did you leave?
I know you believe in me, Anakin, and I'm grateful for that. But this isn't about you. I can't stay here any longer. Not now.
Ahsoka, you are making a mistake.
Where were you when I needed you?
I made a choice. I couldn't stay.
You abandoned me. You failed me. Do you know what I've become?
Anakin, please!
You were my brother, Anakin!
Powerful.
No! No!
The apprentice lives.
Ahsoka?
It's all right, Ahsoka. It's okay. You're safe. Ahsoka, it's your duty to save as many lives as you can. But letting go of our attachments is a difficult struggle for all of us.
What's happening?
Say that!
Order 66.
Find him. What?
Fight him! Fight!
In my book, experience outranks everything.
In my book, experience outranks everything.
Rex? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Cut all them off! Too many of them!
I get so confused sometimes. It's forbidden for Jedi to form attachments, yet we're supposed to be compassionate.
Don't lose 1,000 lives just to save one.
I understand that as usual you're playing politics. This is why the people have lost faith in the Jedi. I had too, until I was reminded of what the Order means to people who truly need us. I am here to bring you to justice.
Anakin Skywalker was weak. I destroyed him.
Then I will avenge his death.
Revenge is not the Jedi way.
I am no Jedi. And now, the student will kill the master.
I see the Padawan needs one last lesson.
That's it, young one. Use your anger. Use your pain. Let it fuel you. Fuel!
I was beginning to believe I knew who you were behind that mask. But it's impossible. Anakin, my master could never be as vile as you. I won't leave you. Not this time.
Then you will die.
May the Force be with you, Ezra Bridger.
This place has been good to me, but all my feasting here is done.
I can't stop him. I can't. He's come back so strong. Dad, I'm sorry. It's my fault it's come to this, because I didn't kill him quickly like you said. Just like it's my fault, Dad, that you're not here with me anymore.
What's wrong, Gohan? Aren't you going to try and stop me now?
What's the point? I know I've lost my one chance to beat you. Now all of us will die together and be with my dad.
I expected the end to be a little more dramatic, but if this is all I get, then there's no use in dragging it out.
So this is it. This is how it ends.
You've got to be joking. Giving up already? Well, that's nothing like the Gohan I know.
Dad, where are you?
The other world. And thanks to King Kai, I can communicate with you telepathically. I know you have the power to beat him, Gohan. I've sensed it all along. Give him the biggest Kamehameha you've got.
No, Dad. I can't even use one of my arms anymore. And my energy's been cut in half.
Remember what you learned in our training. And trust yourself. It may feel like Cell weakened you. But really, what's draining your strength is your own doubt. Just don't listen to it, okay?
Okay, it's all starting to become clear now, Dad. I've got one arm left, but that's all I need.
Look! He's been driven insane by his own fear!
Gohan!
He's finally ready to face him.
With all those moves, I'm sure this makes them burn!
Gohan's losing it. He's being overtaken.
And now this is where you end!
What's the matter, Gohan? You already have all the power you need. Just bring it out!
I can't keep this up! It's too much for me to handle! I'm just a kid! I haven't changed! Not at all!
Will you stop attacking yourself? I don't know where you got it in your head that there's something wrong with you, cause there's not! You've saved my life and our friends' lives so many times! And you're going to do it again, right now!
What on earth are you mumbling about? Chanting a little prayer before you die?
I'm coming, Gohan.
Piccolo! Mercy, Gohan!
Where did Piccolo's brain go? To think he could save Gohan all by himself?
Let's roll!
This really? I mean, it's not like they'll make a difference.
Special beam cannon! Would you stop interfering?
Try me!
You're all so anxious to die, aren't you? Well, all you had to do was ask!
He hurt them! He hurt them!
No way!
Too strong!
Don't you realize yet you're up against the perfect weapon?
No, Gohan, I won't let you die all alone out there. Because, kid, you're the first person to ever show me what it means to have a friend.
Don't know why I'm getting up again. Guess I only have Goku and Gohan to blame. Those two guys really changed me for keeps.
These are your last minutes, boy. So try to make them count.
Surpassing Goku has been my goal ever since I became a martial artist. Without him, there's no way I would have come this far. How did I defeat him? I stood there and watched him die. I will not make the same mistake with his son. Goku, I hope you know how great a kid you've got. Like father, like son, right? Well, I won't let you down. It's not fear that's holding me back. It's just a...
Why can't you people just stay down? They just keep lining up to die. No chance! You have no chance! Yes, I can feel you slipping!
No! I've been letting people down my whole life! If only I'd been stronger!
Power comes in response to a need, not a desire.
If only I could have done more!
Gohan, let it go. Drop your restraints. Protect the life I love.
16! I let you die! I can't do that! I won't watch anymore! I feel it slipping!
Gohan!
We tried. We all did our very best to be heroes like you, but it just not enough.
You can't take my Gohan away from me! He's my baby and no one can take him away!
Gohan! Raise it higher! You can win this one!
Gohan!
Release it, Gohan! Release everything! Remember all the pain he's caused, the people he's hurt. Now make that your power!
Say goodbye!
No! I have to be strong! If I can't do this, then Dad, Krillin, everyone! I'm going to lose them all!
Vegeta!
Now's your chance!
What are you so afraid of, son? Isn't this what you wanted? I warned you! I told you what would happen if you pushed me too far. But you didn't listen. You forced me to awaken my hidden power. And now that you've seen it, you're afraid. Because you know that I'm going to destroy you!
Or make me tacos anymore.
Are you like an ankle baby?
That's what.
I'm not understanding your question.
Do you support capitalism or not? He hung up.
I'm just wondering, because I've never heard this kind of rhetoric from anybody. What happened?
What type of rhetoric?
How can you believe the things that you're actually saying?
Like what, for example?
Why do you keep calling this man the Great White Hope?
Because he's a
What
great...
is so great about him?
All right, let me respond.
Let
me respond.
I'm just wondering.
Let me respond.
Go ahead, sir.
So you start wondering. He want to put a big, beautiful wall around the country to protect the American citizens. He want lower taxes. He want lower restrictions. He want jobs and finance to come back to America. And I can go on and on and on. And he's for all of Americans, especially for Black Americans.
No, he's
and so
not.
That's
sir.
what makes
sir.
him great.
And
the
let me
Great
ask you
White
one
Hope.
question too.
How old are you, Larry?
I'm 57 years old, sir.
Amazing.
How old are you?
Beta. Are you for the wall, Larry?
No, I'm not for no wall. I am for border security.
What does that mean?
I am for border security.
What does that mean?
That means putting people in place, putting up some kind of what's a good word for it?
Wall.
An obstacle between them and us.
A
I
good
understand
word
that
is
right
wall.
there. But you're talking about. Oh my goodness. And I just hate the fact that you actually is spouting this garbage right here.
You just espout garbage about white people oppressing Black people with no proof. You lied. Thank you, Larry. Beta! Back in a moment. Are you a beta male or an alpha male?
I'm definitely an alpha male.
Are you voting for Hillary?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Do you believe America is a Christian nation?
I have to go back to the Indians. They were the ones that was here first, and whatever it is that they had, that was what was the founding.
They were just sitting around smoking pot. They didn't do anything.
Do you have any problems with veganism? Because it seems like vegans tend to be more left-wing. You know, do you have any issue with the diet per se?
Yeah, vegan is for crazy people.
Is not beta male and alpha male? Is that not a made-up word?
No, that's not made up because we have weak men like you, and we have strong men like Donald Trump.
I'm a real man.
You're not a real man because if you were a real man, you wouldn't be
into a category.
You wouldn't be support.
Shut up.
You wouldn't support. You wouldn't support abortion if you were real.
I married this lady, and we've been married 40 years. We have never. Now this is going to sound like a lie. We have never had an argument.
Oh, she can't talk.
Say that again?
She's not able to speak.
Oh, yeah, she talks very well.
And so why do parents let lesbians teach their children?
Well, because she's smart. She's a professor of sociology.
But she's not smart if you're a lesbian. You can't be a lesbian and be smart. It's like a man on the street said that Don Lemon was smart. How can Don Lemon be smart and he's a lesbian? Today I'm joined by a practicing witch. No, not Maxine Waters. This is a good witch. I have with me Marja Da'u. Thank you so much for coming.
My pleasure, Jesse. Thank you for having me.
And so you were walking down the road one day and you decided, I want to be a witch.
I came out this way, actually. I've been this way a long time.
So you were born a witch?
Correct. From the time I was small, I had strange experiences, and as a teenager, I was called to nature practices. A lot of people don't really know what a witch is or have different ideas.
Right.
For me, it's one who studies nature and obtains wisdom through nature.
Amazing. Was your mother a witch?
She was. She studied all kinds of religions. She lived in Tibet for several years, studying Buddhism there, and just was always in natural environments. So
how about your father?
He got more into, crime and drugs a little. That was more his path he took.
So you are known as the White Witch of Los Angeles.
I changed my name actually to Witch of the Dawn. The term white to use is a little, has become offensive because we shouldn't think of white as good and black as bad.
Oh,
so
Lord.
I decided to change the title in the interest of respect for all people. I'm happy to sacrifice that.
Oh.
I just want to make sure people understand I'm not about trying to go punish people or manipulate people
Right,
or
yeah.
try to, you know, do that kind of stuff.
And so what do you do every day as a witch?
It's mostly healings, so I'll work with plants and herbs with people who are sick, or Qigong healings. I do a lot of energy work, and I've practiced martial arts for about 20 years. So I will move energy in people. I went to school for Chinese medicine, so I'll incorporate that kind of acupuncture knowledge as well.
Right.
I'll also use divination. I use an ancient Chinese form of divination known as I Ching. I also work with the tarot and do astrological readings for folks.
And what's the feeling of a witch? What does that feel like?
So I'm constantly trying to be aware of my surroundings, of what's happening, of who I'm talking to. I feel the wind. I know where the sun is in the sky.
Wow.
So that sort of thing.
Right. And so you have 2 kids?
I do. 2 daughters. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you married?
I am divorced.
Did your husband know you were a witch before he married you?
He did. I'm very open. He was Christian.
A Christian married a witch?
That's correct.
What was he thinking?
We just had an affinity with
Oh,
each other.
okay.
Right? So that was really what it went off of. And you know, when you come into an affinity with someone, everything will just flow and
Right,
go.
yeah.
Yes.
And so why did you guys divorce?
Because I was starting to have a career and he felt like that maybe wasn't a good idea.
Right. So you had these kids and you wanted to work and he didn't want you to work?
That's right.
And why did you follow him? Why did you not take his advice?
I had an entire community of people that required my presence. I had a lot of people that kind of needed my work.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Do you regret marrying a Christian man rather than another witch?
No, I don't.
Are there witch men?
Yes, which
There
is
are-
not a gender statement. Yeah.
So there are men who are running around saying that they're witches?
Correct.
It
yeah.
sounds so feminine to be a witch.
That's an affiliation, right, that you've gotten through culture.
Are these heterosexual men who are witches?
I think both.
Amazing. So if there's a dirty witch sitting in a closet somewhere and she's upset at John Doe because she saw him on TV and John Doe said, I don't
Sure.
like feminist
Right.
women. And can this witch go into the closet and affect that person?
People can do whatever they want. I mean, people
I know,
can
but if I
say
don't know that the dark witch is after me, how would that hurt me?
the mechanism of how we affect each other is through our connection to all humans. So if I'm a cell on my leg and there's another cell in another part of my body, those
Right.
two can be directly affected by each other. Does
Right.
that make sense?
That makes sense. A dark witch and a good witch,
Yes.
can they fight against each other?
Sure,
In
if they
separate
choose.
locations and
Yes,
Have-
because non-locality, right? We can
Yeah.
have quantum effects on each other.
have you fought with a dark witch or evil witch?
I don't fight against other humans.
Well, let's say that the evil witch
Sure.
see the good witch, and they're jealous. You're very pretty, so they're jealous of you.
Right, sure.
They're like, that good witch, she is so
Yes,
beautiful.
good example.
Right.
So my response to that is to let them know how beautiful they are too.
But they're not though.
Everyone is beautiful. Come on.
But they're not though. Have you ever heard of the Wicked Witch of the West?
Oh, like from the Oz books?
No, from
Oh,
South Central.
different.
From
No,
South
I don't.
Central
Oh,
LA.
no, who's this?
Maxine Waters.
Mm-mm.
How would you like to come up against that dark witch?
That's fine with me.
You can handle her?
Listen, all things on planet Earth are handleable.
What is a Qigong technique?
Qigong utilizes energy movement. So basically, you're going to try to move their blood. A lot of times, most people's problem is stagnation,
Right.
not moving, right? So you just have to move it. So as soon as she moved the energy, then she
So
was
you
fine.
had her lay on her back and you did this thing?
Put my hands on her.
And then you commanded the energy to start flowing?
What I do, I'll tell you, it's real simple. I just move it in myself.
Oh, you with your hand on her.
I don't mess with the other person.
Oh, I
I just
see.
stand there and be myself.
And can you feel this energy moving while your hand is on your hand?
We
is
both
on-
felt it, and a lot of times the wind will come in.
Oh, I would jump up and run out. If the wind come, I'm gone. So you believe there's a God, but you believe he is a spirit.
He? That's funny. Why do you think he?
Because there's no way he can be a she.
America, you mother, you drug addict, you KKK, you fascist USA.
That's a pickaninny from somewhere in Africa, wherever she came from. This woman needs to be sent back right away out of my country. Right away. She needs to be put into one of those fighter planes that travels really fast and take her over to Congo and just open up that bottom thing under the plane and let her drop out. I have with me Jane Elliott, and Jane is a former third-grade teacher. She is an anti-racism activist and educator featured on Oprah for her Blue Eyes, Brown Eyes demonstration. She's going to tell you all about that. So you went into your classroom and you took the third graders, 8 and 9 years old. You discriminated against the blue eyes by being kind to the brown eyes, right?
Oh, absolutely. I was more than kind to the brown eyes. I was unkind to the blue eyes. I made the blue-eyed people sit in the back of the room because everybody knows that blue-eyed people are disruptive and they can't learn anyways. They might as well sit in the back of the room. I made them go last in lunch line because, you know, if they go first, they'll eat too much. I made them I gave the brown-eyed people 5 extra minutes of recess because they're all so bright that they deserve all these good things. I made the blue-eyed people couldn't be role leaders for the day because obviously they couldn't be good leaders. You don't want a blue-eyed person leading you because all blue-eyed people are not to be trusted. I was absolutely amazed. I separated my group according to the color of their eyes. I made the blue-eyed people wear armbands, which is what the Nazis did to the Jews during the Holocaust. I treated them as we treat, on a daily basis in this country, people of color. And they couldn't do anything wrong because any problem they had was because they had to sit beside a blue-eyed person. Any mistake they made was because they had had blue-eyed teachers before me. I learned that you can tell somebody they're superior, treat them as if they are superior, and turn them into superior beings, superior learners, superior achievers. I learned that you can tell somebody they are an underachiever and that they are inferior, and they will live down to your expectations of them.
When I read this story, I was saddened by it because it seemed as though your overreaction to Martin Luther King assassination caused you to go into your classroom and traumatize other kids who had nothing to do with it.
If it's nonsense to do this exercise based on eye color with a white child for one day, if that's traumatizing, what does it do to children of color if you do it with them pre-birth and after death? You want to talk about traumatizing?
But it's not right to make those kids suffer for something that other people are doing. One wrong doesn't make another one right.
My students were totally ignorant about racism, which is actually colorism. They were totally ignorant about that. They used the N-word indiscriminately because they had been taught that it was right to treat people that way, and because they had never been on the receiving end of that treatment. They got educated that way in a way that changed the way they lived their lives to this day.
That's amazing.
And it changed the way their parents behaved in the home.
Had I been a parent and found out that you did that to my child, in the third grade, which is 8 or 9 years old, traumatized my child in that manner, I would have sued you and the school. So you feel nothing about what you did to those children?
I didn't do to those children. I did for those children.
By traumatizing them?
I didn't traumatize them. Are you traumatized by what's happened to you in this country?
Not at all. I was never traumatized. Let me tell you this.
Black?
I am as black as the ace of spades. But let me ask you this.
If you're as black as the ace of spades and haven't felt any...
Most of the discrimination I've had to encounter was from other black people. But let me ask, if what you're saying...
Where do other black people learn to discriminate against black people?
From their black leadership.
Oh, you think so?
Without a doubt. I grew up on a plantation. I grew up under the Jim Crow law down in Alabama. We had to work in cotton fields and doing all those things. Why do you... Hold on for a minute. I want you to answer this. Why didn't you see
No,
if what
no,
you're
I'm
saying?
not going to answer that until you answer this.
No, but
Did
if,
black
hold on,
people
Jane.
institute the Jim Crow law?
Jane, yeah, I'll answer that after you answer this. Why didn't you see black on black crime, black unemployment, black out of wedlock birth, abortion, and all the garbage that we see now? If racism was an issue, why didn't we see it more back then than we do today? I'll let you smoke on that for a minute. Jane, let me ask, are you a Christian?
Is that any of your business?
It is.
Are you a Christian?
I am, 100%. You must be pretty upset at the radical homosexuals for going after the Christians and trying to force them to accept a lifestyle that goes against God and the Christian values. That is discrimination like none I've ever seen. So you must be pretty upset at those folks, right?
I'm pretty upset at Christians who say there's only one way to live. I'm pretty upset at Christians who say deny how God made you and become the way I will accept you.
Are you upset at the radical homosexuals for going after Christians?
I'm upset at radical Christians for going after homosexuals.
Oh, you got it wrong. You got it backwards.
Well, one of us has it wrong.
That's you. You are
if you want to
attacking.
talk about colorism and the damage that has been done to people of color and people of all colors, including white people, by the idiocy of believing that skin color makes you a better or worse person. If you want to talk about that, I'll talk about that. Other than that, I'm not interested in this conversation.
Jane, calm down.
Listen,
calm down,
call
Jane.
somebody else.
Jane, calm down.
No,
How do you
You can call me Ms. Elliott. Only my friends call me Jane. You can call me Ms. Elliott.
Jane.
And you've proven that you are not one of my friends, okay?
Jane, you're out of control. Calm down. Let me ask.
Here.
Let me ask you.
No one says to me, you're out of control,
But
calm
you
down,
are.
because they don't like what I'm saying. I'm sorry, but I don't have time for this. I have other things to do.
Hold on,
Call
hold on.
somebody else. All right? Thank you very much. It's been interesting.
She's running. Get her back on the line, James. Tell her I'm black. When you're black and you don't go for the crap, they don't know what to do. I think she's back. She hung up again. She said, "Do not call me back, daughter of Satan." This song is for Jane Elliott. Yeah. You call me Mr. Peterson.
But all kids, not just the children of a governor and a filmmaker, should have a good life in California. They shouldn't be ripped away from their parents at the border.
That's not a real man. That's a beta male. His mindset and emotions is that of a liberal woman. A real man would do what's right. And why is he holding a baby up there? A baby that doesn't really look like a baby, but he has one of those things in his mouth like a baby. Beta baby! Beta baby! You made it on time. Most of my black guests don't show up on time. As a matter of fact, I at one time interviewed a cousin of mine. He's a liberal Democrat. And I had him on regularly, but he will always be late, so I banned him. Do you agree with me that men are under attack? Masculinity is the most hated aspect of our society today?
Historically, this is a patriarchal society. It's been historically patriarchal. It's been historically very oppressive to women. Women got the right to vote many, many, many years, hundreds in some instances after men. And women have been put into a second-class citizen position for hundreds of years in this country, and they're defensive about it. They're upset about it. So they're resisting any type of threat to them.
So you do agree that men, straight men, are the most hated group on this side of heaven?
Well, I have to really focus on the fact that my work is around black men. I don't really pay much attention to the issues facing white men because white men comparatively seem to be taken care of, seem to have resources and power and the capacity to deal with what comes their way better than what black people have in terms of resources or imagination.
Most men today, straight conservative Christian men of power, have not oppressed women.
Most?
Right. And so why would they
how could you say that?
Why would they be under attack today?
How could you say what most men are doing?
But most men are not oppressing women. Women are ruling men. But let me ask, why would those men, it kind of reminds me of the blacks accusing whites of slavery, and slavery been ended 150 years ago. And they still say, you're enslaving us. We're suffering because of sin. So the blacks are always, most blacks complain about that. Let me ask, do you believe that most straight black men have oppressed women?
Well, just like white supremacy, this is a system issue. It may or may not be every individual, but systemically, women get paid less. Systemically compared to men, women are traumatized, raped, or in a lesser power position historically and systemically. So it's not necessarily about every individual, which is why I asked you the question when you said what most men are doing. We really don't know what most men are doing, but we know that this is a patriarchal society historically, and that women have been treated like second-class citizens historically.
Is there wrong with that?
Is something wrong with anything that treats women as if they are less than men?
Is anything wrong with men being the head of society?
Is something wrong with men oppressing women?
No, how about, is there anything wrong with men being the head of society?
If that means that women are eliminated from the opportunity to be head also, that's a problem.
But you can't have two heads.
Yes, you can.
How? Somebody got to lead and someone got to lead and someone got to follow. Even in a partnership, someone got to lead. You have a president and a vice president. In all situations, you can't have two leaders.
I don't believe in dictatorships.
So if a man is the leader, he's a dictator?
What I'm saying is that, no, of course, not all men who lead are dictators, but if men lead at the dismissal of women, if men lead because they assume that women are worse than them or lesser than them in terms of being in leadership positions, that's a problem.
Do you agree with me that most blacks are suffering due to the destruction of the family and the lack of more character and not this phony idea of racism?
I think most black people are dealing with post-white supremacy trauma trance. Most black people are in a trance.
That's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous to you because you don't understand what I know. Black people live in a anti-black culture that's a perpetual assault on their self-concept.
But if they were real
men,
they wouldn't be speaking that way. They were real men overcome things.
Well, what's a real man?
They're men who love God with all their heart, soul, and might, along with nothing else, and they patiently endure. They overcome rather than complaining like little women.
Well, I don't see these kind of men you're talking. I mean,
but you just
my whole life is pretty much
the
black.
Same things that they use. White supremacy, which doesn't exist. Racism, which doesn't exist. You're using the same words that most blacks are using, men and women are using, for the excuse of failure. I don't
think the issue is that it doesn't exist. I think for some reason in your own personal development, you can't see it or grasp it, but
because
it exists.
It's not there. It's not there. Had it been there, blacks would not have done as well under the Jim Crow law. They did better under the Jim Crow laws than they do now.
So ask somebody, if you don't watch TV a lot, if there's such thing as a black love story, a non-comedy black love story on television.
Thank you for coming in.
That was quick.
Yeah, I know. I appreciate it.
Oh, okay.
They have gotten away with blaming white folks and blaming someone else. So they're just rotten to the core with it now. And white men don't care how they dress.
It seems like white people used to dress up.
Oh, yeah, they used to dress up. They sure did.
So, like, maybe this is like a white cellular memory trauma.
What a mess. Cliff, thank you for calling, and thanks for holding you on the air.
You remind me so much of Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump?
Yes.
Run, Forrest, run.
Yeah, but you were the one that when he made the statement that he's not a well-learned man.
Right, I'm black and slow.
You're certainly like a low IQ person.
I am. I'm black.
Yeah, oh, no question about it.
No.
Question about
Cliff,
it.
I tell people all the time, I want them to be clear with me because I'm black and slow.
No, I'm black myself, and I'm a Republican. But I think that your great white
I'm
hope
black.
will ruin this country.
I said I'm
He
black
will
and
ruin
I'm
this
slow.
country.
And
I want to see what you say then.
How will he ruin? You said you are a black
Well, he's
Republican.
already started. You know, number one.
Cliff, hold on. Let's do. Hold on.
He's not a good role model. First of all,
Cliff, hold on. Calm down. I want to do one at a time. You say you are a black Republican?
Yes, I am.
And did you vote for the Great White Hope?
No, I did not.
And why not?
He has created 3 whores in his lifetime.
Did you vote for Obama?
Yes, I did.
You voted for him twice?
Yes, I did.
You have no place to judge President Trump at all because
what are you talking about?
Because you are not
Obama,
a Christian.
Obama did not
You're
have,
not
have,
a Christian.
Have a whore. He did not
Cliff,
create whores.
Cliff.
He created whores.
Cliff.
His wife is a whore, and
I had to put Cliff on hold. He sounded like his mama. I put you on hold. No one hurt you.
Okay, but what have you done for this country?
What has who done?
You.
What have I done for the country?
Yes.
Nothing.
Yes. I'm quite sure you have not.
No.
When you were 19, you were what? In
Why are you acting like a little female?
I'm a female. Look,
yeah,
let
you
me
carrying
tell you
on like you carrying on like your mother. Calm down.
I spent more than
Cliff.
almost 19 years.
I put him on hold again. He's just like his mama. Maybe I'm just like my mama. She's never satisfied. Cliff.
Yes.
How old are you?
Me?
No, you.
I'm 79. I'll be 79 Wednesday.
Amazing.
Okay?
Well, you know what? You can go on hating the president. That's your problem.
I don't hate him.
And I don't want to.
I don't hate him, but I don't think that he's worthy of any kind of praise.
If you voted for Barack Obama twice, you ain't no good no how. How did you find my show?
Oh, I just happened to flip the channel. I'm a retarded person, so I flip you on just to see what you're going to say next.
You say you're a retarded
I really think
person?
That you are probably the most ignorantest person I've ever run into in my life, black man.
Did you say you're a retarded person?
No, I said I'm a retarded person.
A retard?
Okay. Yes, I retard in 2000.
He said he's retarded? Huh?
No, I'm not retarded.
What did you say, Joel?
Hey, look,
wait, hold on a minute.
It sound like
hold on a minute.
Something that you're
it
not.
sound like retard, but I think he's saying retired.
Did you say retard?
Yes, that's what I said.
Oh,
That's
I thought
what
you said retard.
No. Look, I'm a college-educated person. Something that you're not.
You're also a dummy.
I'm gonna say this to you, and like I say, I love everybody.
You love white people?
Hey, I love everybody.
Do you love white people?
I love everybody.
I'm not asking about everybody. Do you love white people?
Yeah, I love everybody.
How about white people?
Yes.
You love white people?
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, but I'm gonna say this. Can I say this to you?
Yes.
And if you, I tell you what, I would say this because it's the right thing to say in my heart. If I had to be under your leadership as a pastor, I would never go to church because I couldn't agree with you.
Right, because you're of your father, the devil. Let's go to T out of Alabama. Let's go down to Sweet Home, Alabama, and have some tea.
Yeah, good morning, Jeff.
Hey, T, how you doing?
Doing great, man. Doing great.
Good.
Hey, I want to confront you about video I saw of you, man. You sit there and scream and yell like a beta man.
Well, that's at the gun rally? Hold on, man. Hold on. James, tell T to speak up.
A person that molested kids.
See, thank you, buddy. I got to take a break. Your phone connection is awful. Every time you call, you must have an Obama phone. Get rid of the Obama phone and get a real phone. Anna needs to go back to Mexico. She's not a real...
I think she's Cuban or something.
Wherever
but
she
whatever.
came from. Yeah. That's an evil woman.
Nicaragua.
That's where she's from?
Yeah.
Send that woman back to Nicaragua. Don't you agree, Joel?
I don't agree that it's called Nicaragua.
Is that what James said? Throw her across the wall. Adam is a first-time caller out of West Virginia. Yeah, Adam, where is Eve?
Yeah, what's up?
I wanted to ask you, why do you call Donald Trump the Great White Hope?
The Great White Hope, because he happened to be, he is white. He has power. He is a conservative Christian, and he put the country first. So that made him the Great White Hope. You agree, right?
It might sound like a semantics argument, but he's a gray alien. You know that, right?
He's a great what?
A gray alien.
What does that mean?
He's an alien.
What does that mean?
Gray, you know the Grays from Area 51?
I have no idea what you're talking about. You've been smoking pot this morning?
Dr. Corium, go to youtube.com.
You be smoking pot this morning? I wonder if you've been smoking pot. Green alien.
And right next to Michael is Renato Strayhorn. He's a PhD and is a licensed marriage and family therapist with a practice in Los Angeles. Thank you all for coming. By the way, Joel, that's Charles right there. Okay. Charles thought that Joel might be his son. What is a man? It's almost starting on the end. What is a man?
Wow. What is a man?
When they go, what is a man? You know they beta, huh? If a man gotta ask, what is a man?
Well, the real question is what does a beta has as far as the function in society?
You said that's the real question, you said?
Yeah.
That's not the real question. The real question is what is a man?
Is that evolving?
I'm sorry?
Is that evolving right now?
Is that who?
Is that evolving right now?
What?
The definition of a man.
We got to figure out what it is first. You haven't told us yet.
Let's go around and see if I can come back to that.
So you're not even tell me?
As a marriage and family therapist, I'm always asking questions I don't know.
A therapist can't tell me what a man is. Give me my money back.
I get very nervous when we start looking at women as sexual objects.
When we start, when do we stop? What is love? What is love?
An unconditional emotion that's shared and...
Who is this guy? Where do you get him from? Racism does not exist. It's a made-up lie.
I think racism is alive, and I think it will...
Alive?
Always, yeah, alive and present. It will always be here.
Do you have proof of it?
As an individual, I've seen it, but I think that's more like...
Where did you see it?
That's more... I could think of an example of riding my bicycle and being pulled over by the police and, you know, having to go through that experience because I ran a red light.
Proof of racism?
Well, I think that's the kids say, that's my truth, or that's my reality.
So you think riding a bike, getting stopped by the cop, is proof of racism?
For running a red light, yeah.
So you ran a red light on the bike, the cop stopped you, and that's racism?
Yeah. From my lens, I would say yes.
You're not did you have a...
I said you're not doing us anything.
Did you have a drink before you came?
But I'm going to have one after.
Earl, get it off your chest, sir.
I watched the Hank Report.
The Hank Report, H-A-K-E, Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. Pacific time.
Even Minister David Duke, he doesn't know why people object about blackface.
You have a black face?
Huh?
You have a black face?
I'm black. Therefore, I have a black face.
So
I'm talking about white folks.
Is there a problem? Is there a problem with you wearing a black face?
Well, Jesse, as usual, you want to talk stupid. Black folks will, white folks put on black face to mimic black folks.
And what's wrong with
It makes
that?
them look like buffoons.
That's not true.
But
You're
you know the
lying.
history of it, Jesse?
It has
No.
nothing to do with hatred. You're
Black
lying.
folks was done as to make fun of black people.
That's not true.
You know that.
That's not true, Earl. That's not true.
You say not true because you're so stupid. You don't know your own history.
How do you feel about black people who dress white? Who put on
What
white
is
faces?
white?
The Wayne brothers,
The
they
Wayne
dress.
brothers?
The Wayne brothers dress like white women, and they call themselves white chicks. Remember that Wayne
I don't
brothers?
know anything about Wayne brothers,
Of course you wouldn't.
but anything less than looking like white, you're demonized.
How about black women who wear blonde hair? Is that a problem?
That's just a style.
Is
What about white
that a
women
problem?
That braid their hair.
All right, thank you, Earl. You need help. You need Jesus. He black.
Giovanni A donated saying, LOL, amazing. Earl done lost his mind.
That's right. Men are not oppressing women.
What do you stand for, sir? What are your beliefs?
I believe in God, country, Constitution. I believe that we should put a wall around the borders to stop the mob of illegals from coming in because they're sucking the life out of the country. And they're bringing crime and drugs, and then they're destroying the black community first. So I feel bad about that. Do you feel bad about that?
I mean, we're Latinos and we
Do
are.
you feel badly that blacks are affected first and foremost by the illegal aliens? They're moving them out of Compton.
But we're Hispanics and we're Latino. We're Mexican.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Jesse Peterson.
Jesse Peterson. Thank you very much.
All right. You love the black people?
I mean, I'm a fan of all people.
How about black people? You love blacks?
I mean, I have black friends and I have.
Do you love the black people?
I have friends.
Why are you tapping him? You trying to make him shut up?
Don't let a woman control you. Oh, you love black people?
I mean, yes.
Huh?
I mean, all I'm asking. My question was asking.
Do you love black people?
My question I'm asking.
Do you love black people?
Oh my god, that look on her face, dude. Oh my god.
Jesse Lee Peterson. Hi, Jesse.
Thank you for having. Hi, Kyle. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Dead.
And hi to the other guys too. If we don't get men to return to their natural state of being, there's no turning around. The power, the love come through men.
Like, what do you mean when you say the natural state of man? Because really, it sounds like words, but it really means nothing.
Well, what I mean about natural state of man is that there is a spiritual order. We are a spirit, and there is a spiritual order to life, and that order is God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman, and woman over children. And the men represent Christ on earth. He's our brother, and we represent God really on earth. The love of God come through us, and it's passed down to the women, who should be your wife, and to your children, and so on and so on. But in today's America, most men are beta males, they are women. So we need men to turn back to God, which will allow them to turn back to their natural state of being.
So I guess
Are you an atheist? Are you an atheist?
Oh yeah.
When you hear men and women saying that they are atheists or agnostics because their parents were failures, were losers.
Yeah. You're not married though, right?
I'm not married, no.
Oh. Okay. I guess I assumed you would be.
But when you assume, you make an ass out of yourself and me.
Well, let me
are you an alpha or beta?
I think you'd think I was a beta, right?
You are beta, that's for sure. Beta!
Yeah.
I just saw the gayest guy on earth. I just saw the gayest guy on earth.
Gayest guy on earth.
I just saw the gayest guy on earth.
Gayest guy on earth.
I just saw the gayest guy on earth.
People that are called SJWs are just people that give a shit about something. Like there's this sort of phenomenon, like if you give a shit about a thing, like and you're passionate about the thing, suddenly you're a social justice warrior.
Jesse, would you agree with what Jake just said?
No, not at all.
Okay, so you said there's no such thing as police brutality. Does that mean you think that in no situation ever has a police officer used more force than was necessary?
When they're stopped by cops, common sense says follow the instruction of the officer. But instead, they start yelling and cursing at the officer, refusing to show their identity. And the cops don't know what's going to happen, so they have to protect themselves. And so the blacks have been set up to overreact with the cops. And when the cops do things to protect themselves, they cry police brutality. And here come the social justice warriors, those white people who are using blacks for their own personal gain, just as the blacks are using blacks. They come in and say, racism or brutality, come on, blacks, and vote for me. And the blacks follow right in line, just like the so-called Black Lives Matter people. We all know that the Black Lives Matter is an organization that was built by a bunch of black lesbians and black radical homosexuals and black wicked and white wicked social justice warriors.
Can I point out something obvious too? What about Rodney King?
Rodney King brought that upon himself. He tried to get away in a car, putting other people at high speed. When they finally caught up with him, they tried to get him to stop, and put the handcuffs on. He refused to do that. It took several cops to stop that guy, and so they had to use force in order to stop him. They had no other choice.
Okay, what about Eric Garner, who was put into a headlock and chokehold and then passed out and died?
Another fat black pig who refused to follow.
Okay, so he was fat, but yeah, he was a large guy.
Had Eric Gardner followed the instruction of the officer, he might be alive today unless he died a natural death because he was having some type of medical problem.
All right.
Why are you giving blacks a reason to be out of control? That's ridiculous. You're trying to use the blacks for your personal gain. No wonder you're atheist.
No.
You're trying to justify wrongdoing, and any person that's tried to justify wrongdoing, especially a male, is a beta male.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I was just seeing what you thought about that.
You sound like a woman.
I think opposite.
Let's go to hold on. Before this devolves into personal. Let's see.
Sounds like Jake.
Well, hold on. Let's see if we can't stick on one more topic because I want to make sure that we.
Could we have a woman president?
We could, but we shouldn't.
Why shouldn't we?
Running this country is a very difficult task, and the woman is not created for that.
Okay. I close my question.
You disagree because you have the mindset and emotion of a woman. You think and act like a woman.
Do you think thinking like a woman is inherently bad?
For a man.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Jesse. This was fun.
All right, thank you, buddy.
See you again soon.
And Jake and the other guy, Steve, it was good meeting you guys. I enjoyed talking to you, Jake.
Man. Likewise.
I hope Jake get over being a beta.
I'm just kind of curious. Does Jake sound more like a woman than I do? I just really got to have a self-conscious moment.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm
Jake sounds like a woman more than you, but you didn't say a lot. So I can sense beta in you, but you didn't say as much as Jake said. So he's total beta.
Well, if you look in the dictionary, the definition of a slut, right? It starts out and it says a woman that's, right? It's promiscuous, has a lot of sexual partners.
I've never looked that word up, so I can't confirm or deny.
You're not in control of your daughter's vagina, so it really doesn't matter
No,
what
but
you
I
want.
would never allow my daughter to marry a whole man.
But you cannot allow her to do anything.
Yes, I can.
They can't.
Yes, I can.
She's going to do what she wants.
No.
She will. Yes.
How old are you?
I'm 30.
You still live with your mother?
Yes.
Beta! beta, baby.
Why?
You're 30 years old. Why are you living with your mother?
Well, basically, it's
that
my
is
house
gross.
And my mother's. technically this is my house and she's living with me.
Tell your mother to go live with her husband. You are not
single.
her husband. Why are you living your mother? That's gross. That's not clean.
It's not clean.
A black woman by the name of Stacey Abrams, kind of fat woman with the bad hairdo down in Georgia, and she ran for governor, I believe, of Georgia. Democrat, liberal, didn't want to give up when she lost. Right? And see, the hair is bad. Why did she even comb her hair?
Do you believe that we descended from apes?
Y'all may have, but I didn't.
The majority of the black people I know, the reason that they think the way about white people is the history that we've been through.
But
on the flip side,
what history have you gone through? What history have you gone through?
Oh, you name it. Coding, being stopped unrationally by the police, stopping swizz, you name it.
You've gone through all that?
I have, personally. I'm 60 years old.
Are you a criminal?
Seaback donated and said, shout out to the Bears, Jesse.
Shout out to the Bay Area. T is out of Alabama. T, welcome to the show.
Yeah, what's up, Jesse?
All is well, T. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, man. Just sitting there listening to your stupidity as usual, Jesse.
What have I said, T, that you disagree with?
It's really amazing, man, how folks sit there and listen to this stupidity that you sit here and preach every single day, man.
What do I say that's not true, T?
Just everything you say.
Like what, T? You call about the same thing. Something wrong with you?
Your thoughts are not you.
Wait, one at a time. Are you saying that you are your thoughts?
Yes, I think. Just like I'm thinking you're an idiot.
So Satan is your daddy. That's why you think. Hey, D, C, DC. T. Goodbye, T. Oh, God. And T on drugs. And his phone is always messing up. I believe it's an Obama phone. Earl, let me move faster. Earl is out of Michigan. Earl, thank you for calling. Thanks for holding. You're on the air.
Yes, Jesse.
Here's another one.
I think we got crossed up last week on your Bible question. Was Jesus beta male?
Alpha.
He was alpha.
Yes.
But if you had been there, you would have said stone the harlot and let her curl up and die.
First of all, why do you say that? Why you falsely accuse me? Satan.
Because.
Thank you, buddy. I'll be back in a moment, folks. That man don't know what you're talking about. He black. Cortez. No, I did her, right?
Yeah, you did
I
her.
didn't do her, but I read her soundbite.
How were you born? Every history.
My dad and mama had sex.
Okay, was your daddy,
supposedly
mama
they
black?
were standing up when they did it, and my daddy
Were they
thought,
standing up?
you can't
But
make
daddy-
you can't make no baby standing.
AP says, Jesse, when did Aunt Esther join the Arkansas Senate? Also, legend
No, it
has
was
it.
Arkansas, not Kansas. She lived in Arkansas.
Oh, they said Arkansas.
That's Arkansas. That's not Arkansas.
That's what they put. AP.
Oh, you put Arkansas?
He put Arkansas.
It's not Arkansas?
Maybe he just messed up.
He misspelled it?
Maybe so.
Oh, okay.
The chat is saying that I spelled Arkansas wrong, but he put it here. He said Arkansas. He put Arkansas. That says Arkansas, not me.
That's Arkansas, boy.
I know, but he spelled it Arkansas. Is what
How you
I'm
spelled it?
trying to pay. Look right here. He said Arkansas.
That's Arkansas.
I know, but he spelled it Arkansas.
That's how the world spells it.
Oh, that's how it goes.
He black. He black.
Oh, sorry, guys.
What are you
I
talking
thought it was
about?
pronounced. I was reading how it was spelled.
Wait, did you go to school?
Now I get what they're saying. Oh, sorry. Slow,
Did you go to school at all? Savage moment. in Chicago, a black lesbian, a woman by the name of Laura Lightfoot, radical lesbian. She won the Chicago mayor race last night, but she defeated another black woman by the name of Toni Peckerwood. Is that her?
On the right.
On the right with the afro?
Right.
They both got afro.
Right.
And that's the lesbian on the left?
Yep.
They both look like
Yeah.
that Peckerwood with the glasses. Is her mama or daddy white or something?
I think so.
Toni Peckerwood. She defeated that black woman. Where are their hair? They got afros. But anyway, she defeated that black woman to become the first black and openly gay lesbian to lead the nation's third largest city. I've seen it all. A black lesbian with an afro, the mayor of the third largest city in America. Amazing. Absolutely, I've seen it all. So you almost had an overdose of a pot.
did.
And what happened?
No, not on pot, on JWH018.
So do you still live at home?
Mm-hmm.
But
It's
why-
just more convenient because I have like my garden here and shit like that.
Oh, so your father and mother, you live with your father and mother?
Yeah.
Beta! Pumpkin pie is an imitation of the real deal. It's not the real thing. It's like those guys that go to the bars now and they meet what they think is a woman. They get home and they find out it's a man. This is pumpkin pie. And pumpkin pie doesn't even look like real sweet potato pie. Because sweet potato pie is a little thicker in there. This look syrupy. This look like beta pie. Miss, do you have Tourette's?
I don't have Tourette's.
Why you come in and scream it out and carry on? Are you aware that you're doing it?
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Yes, calm down.
All you talk about is black.
Because there is no white brutality.
Yes, there is.
No, it's not.
87% of black crime is done by white folks.
No, white
Did you know
black
that?
people are attacking white folks, man.
Did you know that?
What?
87% of crime is caused white on white crime is by whites.
How much?
87%.
Oh.
Stop proving you're full of crap.
In a statement, Welt 73 said the voices of American people are being ignored and our nation is suffering. So I'm wondering, is he smoking too much pot? I have with me Dr. Bandy Lee. She is a forensic psychiatrist at Yale School of Medicine. You were the editor of a book called The Dangerous Case of Donald Trump, which is a book of essays that examine Trump's mental health. Explain to us what this book is all about.
Do we have a duty to warn about a dangerous president? Was the question we posed, and the answer came out yes. So we decided to put our analyses together in a book.
Have you ever examined the president?
None of us have, but there is a lot that we can tell outside of an examination, and dangerousness is one of them.
Is it unethical for professionals to give opinion about someone without examining them?
That is what we were disputing at the conference. And when you're asked about a public figure, you should educate the public about the public figure in general terms, but just do not diagnose.
Did you vote for Hillary?
I did vote for Hillary.
Amazing. And so now that the president has been there for nearly 3 years, what has he done to indicate that he has, or possibly has, mental health issues?
Well, he has shown numerous signs from the start, but as I have said,
Like what, for an example? Give me an example. I'm black and I'm slow. Give me an example or something that he has done to indicate that he has potential mental health issues.
So my main concern was dangerousness, specific symptoms that make one dangerous.
But what
And
has
those
to, you give me something that the president did to indicate that he has mental issues?
Those include impulsivity, like tweeting out policies without consulting anybody. That's an example of impulsivity. He's often
But
reckless.
if he didn't tweet out, we wouldn't know the truth because the media lie to the people. Otherwise, we wouldn't know the truth. And so, is it mental illness to tweet out the truth?
It's
You remember Barack Obama, the black guy that was the president? When he used Twitter in order to help win the election and lied to the people, did that indicate that Obama was mentally ill as well?
we look at patterns rather than single instances, and so he didn't show enough of a pattern to raise alarm.
How about when he lied after lie after lie about...
The same thing. Again, it's about pattern. He may have said, a number of lies, but it didn't rise above the level of normal politician lying, perhaps. So you look at
but
what is normal.
Again, I'm black and I'm slow, but did that indicate that Obama was mentally ill as well? When he lied after lie after lie after lie.
It didn't rise to the level. The pattern was not severe enough to raise alarms.
Amazing. The media lie to the people, especially liberal media, day after day after day. Are they doing that because they are mentally ill, deceiving the people? The Democratic Party, the right of Republicans, are they deceiving the people because they're? And I really appreciate you being here. Are they deceiving the people because they are mentally ill?
Now the media. What happens is that when you have a president with mental impairment, it trickles down to the population. In fact, even if members of the population do not have a diagnosable mental disorder, they will take on, for example, delusions and symptoms of mental illness when we have a leader who is...
So are you saying that the liberal media is mentally ill because of President Trump?
They show symptoms and signs of illness, but it's actually not an illness.
So you blame President Trump for the mental illness of the liberal media?
I'm not sure what you're referring to by
You said that the liberal media is mentally ill because of President Trump, right?
when you have a
even in actions that are predestined by God, we have one action done, two different intentions. One's from sinful man's perspective.
It's valid, not sound.
Oh, okay, but that's the problem though. So when I know you didn't really ask for an argument, you gave one, but when people ask for arguments, it's like the problem is, like you say, that something could be valid and sound.
Or evil actions to bring good out of it and predestinate it for that very purpose.
What makes Darth Vader terrifying? The answer can surely be found in no better way than by experiencing the duel between the Dark Lord of the Sith and the son of Anakin Skywalker. Through tension and terror, through characterization and conflict, the ultimate horror of Darth Vader is illuminated in what may very well be the most iconic moment in Star Wars history. The entire movie is perfectly structured in service of this climactic duel. We see for the first time the mighty Vader bow before a master.
The son of Skywalker must not become a Jedi. He will join us or die.
We know that Luke Skywalker would never join them. So maybe he can defeat Vader?
If you end your training now, if you choose the quick and easy path, as Vader did, you will become an agent of evil.
Yoda and Obi-Wan Kenobi see Luke's destruction at the hands of Vader as an inevitability. But Luke's vision of the future, a future that would see his friends perish, compels him to go no matter the cost.
And sacrifice Han and Leia.
If you honor what they fight for, yes.
Yoda's advice echoes the similarly cold, perhaps even ignorant advice he once gave to a young Anakin Skywalker.
Rejoice for those around you who transform into the Force. Mourn them, do not. Miss them, do not.
Luke reacts much like the legendary Jedi, proving Anakin wasn't wrong to want to save those close to him. What separates Luke and Anakin is the lengths they would be willing to go, the lines they would be willing to cross, just to keep their loved ones safe.
The cave. Remember your failure at the cave.
Everything is against Luke. His masters, the people whom he trusts completely, beg him not to go. His friends will be vanquished if he does not.
I can't keep the vision out of my head. They're my friends. I gotta help them.
You must not go.
But Han and Leia will die if I don't.
There's not a better reason for Luke to dive into the belly of the beast. Just like his father, if the Jedi Code stops him doing what he believes is right, he will ignore it. Anakin Skywalker's heart lives on. Enter Cloud City. There is a satisfying contrast in watching Luke venture into a city amongst the clouds, its hallways bathed in heavenly white and blue tones, only to watch him ascend into a den of darkness and evil. He walks through heaven to enter hell, and the devil is waiting patiently.
The Force is with you, young Skywalker. But you are not a Jedi yet.
We're reminded that Luke has barely begun his training. Obi-Wan, a veteran of the Clone Wars, fell at Vader's hand. The orange aesthetic bleeding into the deep blues makes it feel like Vader has brought a little piece of Mustafar with him. The choices of colour hint at the inner conflict that will tear Vader apart from here until his death. It allows for both combatants, these vestiges of good and evil, to cut such clearly defined silhouettes as they draw their signature weapons, leaving no doubt that this is the single greatest set in all of Star Wars history. Luke barely says a word to Vader. There is no ambiguity as to his evils. Luke sees him as a dragon he must slay and nothing more. Apt that their rematch will see Luke using words over his weapons. Vader moves with uncanny precision, focus, and surprising agility. The way Vader moves, every swing is measured and calculated. It is a far cry from the emotional young Jedi he once was. Now that passion is replaced with choreography that highlights the machine over the man. The parallels to the duel of Mustafar are clear. Much in the same way Obi-Wan was forced into a defensive style for the entirety of his battle against Vader, so too must Luke attempt to keep the Sith Lord at bay. You don't beat Vader, you can only try to stay alive. It becomes readily apparent that what makes this duel so unique is that it isn't much of a duel at all. This is pure survival. It's also an audition.
Impressive. Most impressive.
What's more terrifying than seeing Darth Vader before you? Knowing he is before you, but being unable to see him. The duel pivots from the clash of sabers to something more intense. Vader's breathing makes you shudder before you even see him emerge. The use of this over-the-shoulder angle gives us a window into Vader's perspective, making Luke seem nothing more than helpless prey. He doesn't even need to touch Luke to destroy him. The focus on Vader's mask yet again reminds us of the machine. If he takes pleasure in this, or hates himself for hurting Luke, we have no idea. The breaks in battle only make it worse for Luke and the viewer. The movie isn't afraid to build the tension slowly as our Jedi-to-be explores Cloud City's eerily empty facilities. He's a rat stuck in a maze. Vader is inevitable. Just like the legendary tales of the Jedi of old, Luke battles the Sith Lord over a seemingly infinite drop.
You are beaten. It is useless to resist. Don't let yourself be destroyed as Obi-Wan did.
Luke throws everything he has into the fight and manages to wound Vader. The inhuman guttural sound that Vader makes after being hit has always stayed with me. As soon as Luke gets a hit in, a single hint towards his true potential, as soon as he defines himself as a threat to the seemingly all-powerful might of Vader, the Dark Lord decides to stop playing with his food. Of course, then comes the awe-inspiring crescendo we all know, beat for beat.
I am your father.
This monster, painted that way by Obi-Wan, by Yoda, the Dark Lord that tortured Luke's friends, the face of the ultimate fascist empire in the galaxy, is just a man. More than that, he shares Luke's blood. Everything he is comes from him. It reconfigures this line,
"He's just a boy,"
to sound like a plea, a grovel. Please don't take my son like you took me. Throughout this duel, Vader was depicted as the monster, the machine, a clear-cut agent of evil. To discover the humanity tucked away inside that hulking, black-clad body is truly the most horrifying thing of all. This is Luke's first true test. It's not about lightsabers, or power levels, or destroying your opponent. It's about the lure of power, the lure of having the one thing he's never gotten to experience, a relationship with his father. But of course, Luke is no Anakin Skywalker. He's stronger. He would rather risk death than submit to the darkness. Vader's hand falling back down. Was he disappointed Luke didn't come with him? Or perhaps disappointed in himself, watching his son do what he could not? Luke lives to fight another day. Vader makes one more effort to reach out.
Luke.
Father.
Son.
We see how easily they slip into calling each other father and son, and it feels strangely natural.
Luke, it is your destiny.
Destiny, fate, these notions have pulled Luke Skywalker left and right in the build-up to this duel for the entire movie. But it's clear now, more than it ever was before, that little things like fate are nothing compared to the heart of a true Jedi.
You did it!
There's no dialogue here. The shot holds for just a few seconds. But there's something so magical in watching Vader's head turn back to the stars one more time. As if he felt vulnerable, his heart laid bare for the first time in decades. The story is told in the cut. We see this, and then we see an Imperial officer who has feared Vader for the entire movie, and for the first time, it looks as if he's almost sorry for Darth Vader. Anakin Skywalker's heart lives on.
Thank you for watching another full fat video. Don't forget to click that subscribe button if you'd like to see more of our deep dives into reality TV. Also, huge thanks to all of our patrons, especially Dr. Chike, Jax Merrick and Mike Nandu. You're all amazing. Until next time.
Smoke, smoke, smoke.
CJ, them are some whack ass tats. Flair, you're ruining my hustle.
Cool, man. That's my homie right there.
Right, man, so I'll be seeing you about half an hour, I guess. Hey, my Roland! Move it! Girl, don't sweat me.
Conclusions about what's around them, and you don't actually need to know the truth yourself. You can just see that, you know, they all can't be right. They could all be wrong.
You cannot make any statements about what you are observing as being true or false if you don't start with the premise that your sense perception is valid.
Can you hear me? If you start with things cannot be and not be at the same time, then you can know that if people are having mutually exclusive conclusions that they both cannot be at the same time.
Wait, how do you know they are mutually Why? How do you know that they are making contradictory statements?
Because logic. That's what I meant. You start with logic, and logic can tell you.
But how do you? Well, how do you sense these people's statements?
What? How do you sense these people's statements? You speak with them.
Oh, and is that valid? Can you actually tell what they're saying?
Here at Full Fat Videos, we rarely cover a single movie in our video essays, often opting to delve deep across a whole bunch of scenes that explain a single point or detail an arc. But this week, I'm not only going to be covering just one movie, I'm covering one exact scene. Well, I guess it is scenes because it's intercut with the Naboo battle and Anakin zipping around in space.
I'll try spinning, that's a good trick.
The Darth Maul fight. I want to talk about the Darth Maul fight. Let's stay on target. Across 11, soon to be 12 theatrical releases, Star Wars has proven to be the very best at delivering spacefaring action thrills. Whilst its spaceship battles, shootouts and pod races are a sight to behold, the franchise is best known for its use of its signature weapon, the lightsaber, in several key duels.
An elegant weapon for a more civilized age.
A laser sword that produces an intense hard light blade in a variety of different flavours, the lightsaber is the weapon of choice for both the Jedi and the Sith, meaning the audience routinely gets treated to this. But which lightsaber duel is the best? There's surely several contenders that spring to mind for a whole host of different reasons. The intense choreography of the Anakin-Obi-Wan duel in Revenge of the Sith, the cathartic battle between Luke and Vader as he tries to pull him back to the light in Return of the Jedi. I could even see the merit in arguing for the very first duel we ever saw on screen between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader in A New Hope. But for me, there's only one duel that combines visuals, choreography, music, performance and story in such a way that it stands head and shoulders above every other effort.
A surprise, to be sure, but a welcome one.
Here's why the Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Darth Maul duel from the final battle of Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, is the best lightsaber duel ever. So Episode 1 teases an epic confrontation between the Jedi and the Sith throughout the entire movie. There's a little tease of what's to come when we see Qui-Gon battle Darth Maul armed with just one ignited saber blade on Tatooine, and with the foreboding power of the Sith that comes to light across the story. For the first time in 1,000 years, the Jedi and the Sith are going to clash in a big way, so of course this battle wastes no time delivering an absolutely epic entrance. The doors sweep open to reveal the hooded visage of Darth Maul, and as if you needed any more confirmation that this guy's a bedwetting, pants-shitting badass, everyone but Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan hot-tail it out of there quicker than you can say,
"You underestimate my power!"
Force users derobe and holy shit, is that 2 blades? 2 blades? Are you freaking kidding me right now? Okay, so maybe in 2019 nobody is wowed by this and everybody in the Star Wars universe has some kind of lightsaber gimmick.
What the hell is that? Everyone's got a gimmick now.
But Darth Maul was the first to unleash a different kind of saber on the big screen. Unlike his successors, who had increasingly nonsensical gimmicks, this new type of lightsaber had a purpose, allowing us to feasibly see how Maul could take on 2 Jedi at once. I like the curved hilt design of Dooku's blade and Kylo Ren's cross-saber, but honestly, I find them a bit unnecessary. It comes off like every time the creative team have come up with a new Sith, there's a brainstorm where they try and work out how many hilts and blades they can stick on one dickhead. I mean, come on guys. As if Maul needed any more hype after unleashing this blade, Duel of the Fates starts playing. Duel of the Fates, baby! There's a ton of golden Star Wars tracks, but this is hands down the best action track in the entire franchise. It's insanely hummable, memorable, exciting and epic all in one. And having it play across this duel only helps to up the wow factor tenfold. When I was a kid, I always used to imagine the choir voices were the Force ghosts of Jedi and Sith stoking the fires of battle and watching this historic meeting. Yeah, I was a dumb kid. As this fight progresses, it becomes abundantly clear that the choreography is a huge step up from the previous Star Wars movies. Here are 3 lightsaber-wielding Force users at the height of their powers, incorporating swings, kicks,
Hello there.
spins, and Force tricks to get the upper hand. Big props to Ray Park for managing to imbue so much life into a character with nothing but his physicality. Maul might have appeared in a few other scenes, but we all know it was this sequence which made him a household name. And as he's proven recently, the man has still got the moves.
Before we jump into the cinematography, we would like to thank today's sponsor, Audible.
Audible has the largest audiobook library on the planet, so if you fancy signing up, why not go to audible.com/fullfat or text fullfat to 500 500 today. Supporting Audible helps fat to 500 500 gratuitous. Equally, it zeroes in on the fight without obscuring our view of it, which might seem like a redundant point, but since most action movies can't overshoot shit in horrible shaky cam close-ups, it implores me to praise it here. As the fight goes on, we move from the industrial hangars to a stunning maze of platforms and energy beams, bathing everything in purple-blue hues, to laser grids, to the bottomless pit of death room. More on that in a bit. There's a perfect sense of geography, which is no mean feat considering how the film has to cut to two entirely separate, equally chaotic action sequences on the fields of Naboo and in space. The fact you can track anything during this time is a feat of editing in of itself, but then again, no one cuts together parallel battle sequences together like Star Wars now, do they? Now, all the things I've mentioned thus far are absolutely reasons to consider this duel as the best ever duel in Star Wars history, but I don't think they're reason enough alone. No, the real reason I think this entire sequence is masterful? It's when the fighting stops. After a stunningly intense battle, Qui-Gon and Maul find themselves blocked off by oscillating laser grids. Qui-Gon's apprentice, Obi-Wan, had tried in vain to catch up to them. Instead, he's at the very back, cut off from the heart of the action, forced to watch to see what might happen next. As we can see, he's frustrated, unlike his master who sits down to meditate. This part of the duel tells us so much about all three characters and what they represent. Qui-Gon, the Jedi Master, patient, calm, channeling the light. Maul, pacing left and right, snarling, ready to unleash his rage and passion just as a Sith would. And Obi-Wan, his emotions leaving him somewhere in between, wanting to help but unable to, watching with dreaded anticipation. It's only by slowing down the fight, by cooling off on the epic music, do we get an interior window into these warriors. It's also a great little nugget of tension, because we know, of course, those grids are going to move again. Maul and Qui-Gon are going to clash blades once more. It's inevitable. When they do, the fight ramps back up again, but the mood is very different. Obi-Wan once again gets cut off, the music is absent. Maul and Qui-Gon strikes are considered, they're breaking far more often in between. We cut back and forth to Obi-Wan, watching helplessly. All of this helps to drum up a feeling of dread, like something awful is going to happen. And of course, it does. Darth Maul, who, up until this point has been nothing but snarls and grimaces, merely turns away after gutting Qui-Gon, moving into a new battle stance. No more pacing, almost as if his bloodlust is satisfied. Killing Qui-Gon meant nothing to him, it elicits no emotion whatsoever, and now he's poised to cut Obi-Wan down just the same. I love how this line is the only spoken word during the entire battle. The entire sequence has the confidence to let the characters' intentions come out through their physicality. There's no declaration of battle or any long winding speeches, as Star Wars can be prone to do.
I have brought peace, freedom, justice, and security to my new empire. Your new empire?
As soon as these guys lock eyes, it's on. The final turn of the fight is some of the most satisfying Star Wars ever put to screen. I mean, just look at these two going at it. Flipping, swinging their blades with full force. It's nothing short of incredible. Oh, and the hero loses. What would Star Wars be without some